Here's something most people get wrong. TSMC doesn't make the finished chip. It makes a wafer, a disk of silicon with hundreds of chips printed on it, not cut apart, not packaged, not ready for anything. The part where that wafer becomes an actual working chip you can bolt into a server, that's a completely different industry. And right now, that step, not the design, not the lithography, the assembly, is the bottleneck in the entire AI buildout. Nvidia gets the attention, TSMC gets the attention. The companies doing this final step, Amkor and ASE, are riding the same wave at a fraction of the notice. So let's walk the whole line, how a chip actually gets built, why the back end turned into a choke point, and who's getting paid for it.
And let's start with the map, because most people fold three separate industries into one. First, design. Nvidia, AMD, Google, they draw the architecture, and they don't own a single factory. That's the fabless model, fattest margin in the chain, call it 60 to 70%. Second, the foundry. TSMC takes that design and prints it onto the wafer. The mechanic, stripped down, light shines through a mask, basically a stencil of the circuit, onto silicon coated in light-sensitive chemistry, and the pattern gets etched in, layer on layer. Foundry margin sits north of 50%. But like we said, that wafer still isn't a chip yet.
And this is where the story turns. Because that wafer still has to be cut apart, the chip put into a package, wired to the outside world, stacked with memory, and tested. That's a separate industry. OSAT, assembly and test. And the margin there drops hard to, and hold on to this number, 14 to 20%. For decades, this was the boring, cheap final step. That's the part that changed.
So why did it change? Moore's law hit a wall. Shrinking the transistor keeps getting more expensive. A 300-millimeter wafer at 2 nanometers now runs, and this is the thing that broke the math, roughly $30,000. That's about a 50% premium over 3 nanometer. For the first time in the industry's history, the cost per transistor went up, not down. And there's a hard physical ceiling on top of it. The biggest single chip you can print is around 858 square millimeters. Past that, you physically can't.
And so the industry stopped trying to build one giant chip. Instead, chiplets. You break the design into smaller, specialized pieces and bolt them back together inside one package. Take Nvidia's Blackwell. It's 2 separate dies, stitched together so tightly, 10 terabytes a second, that the system reads them as one chip. That doesn't happen without advanced packaging. Then there's the memory. To feed an AI model, you stack high-bandwidth memory, right up against the logic on a shared silicon base. That's TSMC's CoWoS, and CoWoS capacity is the single tightest pinch point in the entire AI supply chain right now.
Now, you might be thinking, wait, if TSMC does the packaging, the OSATs are cut out. They're not. And this is the part that actually matters. It's a split process. TSMC keeps the high-margin silicon step for itself, mounting the chiplets and the memory onto the interposer. But the labor-heavy part, landing that onto a substrate, the heat lid, the final test, gets handed off. TSMC outsources something like 40 to 50% of that final assembly to ASE's group. So TSMC and the OSATs aren't competitors. They're two halves of one conveyor belt, which means the OSATs ride the AI wave directly.
And the economics get better, not worse. Advanced packaging sells for 4 to 6 times a standard package, and it carries roughly double the margin. Call it 26, 27% against the old 14 to 20. So AI isn't just adding volume here. It's structurally lifting the margin of the whole sector. For scale, the advanced packaging market this year is somewhere around $45 to $57 billion. And the AI slice inside it is growing about 15% a year, faster than anything else.
Okay, so who gets paid? At the top, it's a small club. ASE, the global leader, Amkor, the largest one headquartered in the US, then the Chinese players, JCET and Tongfu. 2 of them are the clean ways in.
Let's see. ASE first. Largest OSAT on Earth, about $20.5 billion in revenue last year. And the angle most people miss, its subsidiary, SPIL, is a certified Nvidia partner for that final assembly step, and it handles around, this is the one to remember, 60% of all the CoWoS volume TSMC runs for Nvidia. So ASE is a direct, hidden beneficiary of every Blackwell that ships. The growth shows up in one line. Advanced packaging went from $250 million in 2023 to $600 million in 2024 to $1.6 billion last year. And they just raised the 2026 guide to north of $3.5 billion. That's roughly 14 times in 3 years. Group margins at 17.5%, the packaging segment's already at 26%, return on equity is almost 14%.
And then Amkor, the American one. Smaller, about $6.7 billion in revenue. But advanced products are already 83% of the mix. The pitch here is reshoring. In June, Amkor signed a 10-year deal with TSMC, the first time TSMC has ever locked a contract like that with an OSAT, anchored to a new campus in Arizona, with Apple, Nvidia, and AMD as customers. The idea is to close the full loop on American soil, so a wafer doesn't have to cross the Pacific to get packaged. Now, be straight about the numbers. Amkor's revenue was basically flat from 2021 through 2025, stuck in the 6 to 7 billion range. The inflection just started. Last quarter was up 27% year over year. The real bet is on 2030. Revenue over 11 billion, margin over 22%, earnings over $5 a share. On forward PE, both trade at almost the same number, around 37, 38 times. Same price, two different bets. ASE is the profitable leader today. Higher margin, higher returns, the Nvidia exclusive, but nearly all of it sits in Taiwan, and it's dragging a low-margin electronics business behind it. Amkor is the bet on the American buildout. Smaller, thinner margins now, but a geographic position nobody else has. You're paying for 2028 and 2030, not for today.
And the bear case is real, so don't skip it. This is a structurally low-margin business. Materials are more than half the cost, and the big customers squeeze price 3 to 6% every year. The CapEx is brutal. ASE's free cash flow went negative last year on a $9 billion spend, and Amkor's will sit near zero until Arizona comes online in 2028. Concentration's a risk too. Amkor's top 10 customers are 72% of revenue, Apple alone about 30%, and the whole thing leans on Taiwan staying quiet and Arizona staying on schedule.
But the core idea holds. Packaging stopped being the boring last step. It became its own bottleneck in the AI buildout. And the same money flooding into Nvidia and TSMC is flowing one layer down to the companies that physically put these chips together. So the question to sit with, over the next 5 years, which is the safer seat? The profitable Taiwanese leader or the American reshoring bet?